Hey everyone, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors. Welcome to the Daysland area where Jalen Hewitt joins me from the Alberta Conservation Association. Jalen, talk a little bit about the pheasant release program. That's what we're out here to watch. We saw some pheasants being released. First of all, maybe a little background. How long has it been in place?
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, we're at one of 41 pheasant release sites here today. This one is called Daysland Pheasant Release Site. This is actually our ninth year of us having the program with ACA. From there, we've been doing releases, yes, in the past 9 years.
So over 40 sites
Yeah.
across Alberta. What does that represent in terms of the total number of birds being released?
Yeah, so across the province, we release over 28,000 pheasants province-wide. Not every pheasant release site gets the same number of birds. They're all different, but in total, there's over 28,000 birds.
So I guess it's important that folk understand that the release of the pheasants really is for hunting purposes. We're not trying to reintroduce pheasants as a wildlife species onto the landscape, or am I misrepresenting that?
No, that's correct. It is for to provide greater hunting opportunity across the province. For instance, when we started the program 9 years ago, we've actually expanded quite a bit up north with pheasant releases. We have two sites now actually up in the Grand Prairie Peace River area that we release birds on, as well as we have many more sites that we've added throughout the 9 years near Edmonton and Red Deer and Calgary, just larger city centers, just providing more hunting opportunity for folks to get out there.
And has the number of birds being released, the active part of this program, has it resulted in more folks getting into pheasant hunting here in Alberta?
It has. It has. It's in the 9 years that we've had the program, we've actually seen an increase in pheasant license sales throughout those 9 years. I think as of now, we're upwards of over 10,000 pheasant hunters in Alberta.
Of course, the last couple of seasons, you've had sort of a neat little side thing going on with melanistic pheasants being released. Is that a thing again this year?
It is. So over the past two hunting seasons, and as well as this one here, we're bringing up 1,000 melanistic pheasants. So they're the same as the standard Chinese ringneck pheasants, just a different color morph. So they'll look more black and green colored. We'll be bringing them up, and they'll be being released randomly across all 41 sites. So there's no rhyme or reason. So if you get out there and harvest one, we'll like to know about it and hear about it.
Obviously, all of this pheasant activity kind of culminates with the big event down in Tabor, middle of October. I know you're going to be down there. That's a big event, isn't it?
Yeah. So coming up, actually starting next weekend, I guess it is Tabor Pheasant Festival. So it's a festival down there. I think this will be the 11th year it's been running, and it's been going strong. And it's a week-long festival where we release birds similar to the provincial program that we have here and are talking about today, just kind of in more of the municipality of Tabor down in that area.
Perfect. Jalen, thanks so much for allowing me to come out and watch a release today. It's a lot of fun. Always cool to see those birds fly off, and really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And right now I'm joined by Steve Nadworny, who is with the land management team of the Alberta Conservation Association. Steve, we're out here in the Daysland area. Talk a little bit about sort of how you guys go about determining sites for a pheasant release.
A lot of it comes down to access for hunters to be able to come out and hunt pheasants. A part of it is making sure it's a large enough area so that birds don't just disperse and leave the property immediately, because we're surrounded by private land all over here. It's about having a good mix of open prairie space for the birds to hunker down in, and yet trees and riparian areas for them to also find habitat and foraging spaces.
So in this particular case, what are we looking at in terms of a size of a release center, a release area for the Daysland area here?
So this site's a section and a half I don't recall the acreage off the top of my head, but it's our largest release site in this region of the province, and it gives hunters, a wide variety of spaces to walk and explore.
So during the off season, are you out here doing any kind of work on the land base in terms of, especially if it's a new piece of property, maybe there's things that have to be removed or land that has to be worked in a certain way, that type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, in this site in particular, there's haying that goes on in strips, and again, it leaves some habitat for the birds to hunker down in. It allows the hunters a place to kind of work. We also will do weed control. Provincially, we're required to do weed management on certain weed species, so that happens. Depending on the property, there could be old buildings or those sorts of things that need to be removed and taken down for safety's sake and just to kind of clean up the property. So yeah, there's always something going on.
And are you monitoring the land like actively during hunting season, just sort of keeping an eye on things, or do you kind of just stay out of the way when folks with guns are wandering around?
It's a balancing act for sure. We do try to visit the sites when they are getting actively used, and during pheasant season, they get a lot of use. So we try to keep our finger on the pulse of that. And if we ever hear reports of any sorts of issues like garbage and those sorts of things, obviously we react. But other than that, it's kind of try to show a presence, but stay out of the way for sure. I mean, we're happy to talk with any hunters that are willing to give feedback at the time of our visit. There's also comment cards that they can fill out, which is very useful for the management of the program and for the site. Things.
Perfect. Steve, thanks so much to you, your team, and all the ACA folks that I guess allow all Albertans to come out and have an enjoyable day on some conservation sites. It's really great stuff.
Well, thank you, Michael.
So if you would like to come out and enjoy some pheasant hunting on a conservation site here in the province of Alberta, the best thing to do is to go check out the Alberta Conservation Association website, or you can download the Discover Alberta app. Till next time, everyone, I'm Michael Short. Stay safe out there, happy hunting, and we'll talk to you again real soon.